Well, good morning, folks. Actually, it's almost noon. 14th May 2025. Take a little walk out here through the woods. Sounds like we're in the woods, don't it? Maybe there'll be a leaf blower out here and that'll prove that we are. Pretty much the last of this that we're going to see for a little while. If you ever wondered about Monument Rock, well, this is placed here in lasting gratitude for the leadership of Montford and Renee Piercy, founding members, Asylum Lake Preservation Association. Okay, I got about 5 miles on these already. These are Crocs off-road. Look at those tread. Look at the straps. Yeah. I generally take the trail most improved. We go over the river and through the woods, over the dale and through the whatever. But today, we're going to take this one. One reason is it's soon to be, if not right now, tick season. And this is a cool trail, no problem with ticks. They're going down through the woods, probably come back that way. But this is probably a little better trail to take while we can. A little bit deeper into the summer here, I would stay off this. In case they, unless they come burn the veld again, but it's a little past that season. Take a little jaunt down this trail here. And see some remnants from last spring, a year ago, when they burned this off. A little bit of smoke damage there on the base of those, but it killed off everything they needed to kill off. And that's a good thing. It doesn't harm anything that's ground animals and so forth. They're burrowed in yet that time of year. Sure takes care of the ticks. Expecting thunderstorms later, especially into Thursday. They've just updated that to being severe. So with winds to 60 miles an hour and down gusts, possible tornadoes, large damaging hail, and so forth. Just a year ago, this past day and a half, is when the tornado hit Kalamazoo back in 1980, killed 5 people, really tore the place up downtown. Yep, something else. You can look that up online. There's a said haunted spot resulting from that tornado. They're right along Bronson Park, across the street from the old courthouse. Young man was killed on his motorcycle sitting along the street there. One of the large trees in Bronson Park uprooted, fell over, knocked over, many of them. And it landed on that young man, and it was quite a while before he was discovered. An actual passerby, a little while after the fact, looking at the trees, and then noticed that there was somebody under there. Yeah, they said to this day, well, up to the day I took the tour a couple years ago, the haunted tour downtown, that man has been seen down there certain times of night, so forth. He'll pass by people and smile and nod his head and walk by, and the people will turn around and look, and he's gone. And he's just there. They just passed him. 2.5, 3 seconds. Okay, and they described what he looked like, and that's what the young man looked like. And they have so many of these reports that it's now what they called back 2 years ago. It's become commonplace. Pretty wild. Right back. I did see workers down here a couple days ago on the service road. Had cones out and so forth. They must have been back here mowing this, because this has been freshly mowed. Nice little walkways here through the meadow. There's something down here that's curious. There's some a little crop of mustard down here. Goldenrod mustard. Looks like some kind of a square piece of material. We're gonna go look at that. It's nice to have bird houses out here, around right here where there's fruit trees and so forth. Well, they have this mowed down right out here to this. At first I thought it was a memorial with several different tablets on here. The closer I got to it, it's a pretty heavy covering. I don't even know if that's a skid. It's right here next to it. Appears to be a wellhead. Let's see what this says. Well, it's a monitor well. Yep, it's a well down here, sitting down here in the lowest part of this topography right here. I'm thinking probably to monitor any of the seepage or things that was produced by the old asylum out here. Because this surely was all on septic. There was no sewer out here. If there was, it came late in the game. So this is probably here to monitor the water out here. Make sure a lot of stuff is not making it downhill, because right there, go down through the woods, down into the lake itself and the wetlands and so forth. Say that's probably what that is. Good spot for it. I've seen test wells uphill, and I made prior videos of that, as you walk in here from the west heading towards the east. All right. All scientific and all that. Very cool, because this whole walk out here is on a bed of clover. How do you like that? Nice bed of clover going all the way up. And I gotta admit that these little off-road Crocs I'm wearing are pretty darn comfy. I've had these up and over the rocks and through the stabilized gravel and things like that, and they hold right on. I don't know where they're getting the crap about the straps are lackluster and weak, and they've had problems with them. Well, they don't have enough tension. You adjust them and you set them right, they're fine. Wear socks, I mean, you're going off-road. I'd wear them on the reef with no socks. And not a bad little shoe. They're a little bit wider, and I have neuropathy. Stem from diabetes. But that, nevertheless, I need a little bit wider tracking shoe. Well, this is nice right here, right? And these have it, just naturally. They're a little bit thicker because of the tread pattern. That doesn't hurt anything. They get too thick, you're off balance. I am anyways. We'll balance something else here in another second. Here's a little temporary notice. It's a no pull area. garlic mustard experiment in progress. So I got to leave all that garlic mustard alone. My grandma, who is Italian, she'd say, leave the you-know-what, bring the cannoli. Last time we took a little walk through here, it was barren of foliage. Leaves are about half on. Old oaks. Some back here have burls on them. I noticed a little bit of wood being burned along here, but I think they may be killing ants and things that are in there. A little bit more here. You can see where there was an old tree toppled years ago. Back up in here into the forest as well. But across the street right here, the road, you can see where it's kind of dug up. Probably where it landed. But there's some really old ones back in here too. See it topped all out, going way back here with lots of moss growing on it and so forth. I think I'd take a chance and try to go back there and get a closer look at that. That's pretty cool. This has probably been laying here 30 or 40 years. And it was probably close to 100 years old when it fell. That's a big tree. Well, here's another little burn pile. Kind of goes back up in there a ways. Here's another oldie but goodie. Another big one right here. Falling towards the east. Many of these are down in that direction, deadfalls or wind knockdowns. And we're heading, as you can see, the topography now. We're going to be carving ourselves downhill into the Asylum Lake area just below us. Now this right here is an old telephone pole. Look at there. Now let's see here. These metal bands have any. Oh, they're just keepers. Right on down here. I'm totally not lying or exaggerating. Mine is in this same condition right here. This one might even be better. Oh well. Ours are slated to be replaced. Man, another big one there down. There's a lot of this down here. Has to do with just the age of this forest. The wind through the wires made a tattletale sound. Oh, that's a whole nother song. I'm sorry, that happened up on Lake Superior. The Edmund Fitzgerald. Yep. Heck of a story. Heroes one and all. Good old Gordon Lightfoot. You bet. He's beloved in the UP. Pretty cool little area. It's just a drain. They've cut a little way through here and they put some ballast, some bedrock down on it. And that way the water, as it comes downhill here, and you can see there's some old pieces of the Asylum. There's some old pieces of the brick right there that are left. Nothing else exists. Old log right here. People have carved their names in it over the many decades. And all the way down through there. Let's take a look at the old Asylum graffiti log. Man, look at the size of that soon-to-be log, maybe. Wow. You can bet this little flow right here fills up in good storms. One day, that'll loosen it up even more than what that is there, and over that'll go. See the way the big one just beyond it's leaning towards the east? Yep. Yep, the graffiti log. Big tree back here too. Still mostly alive. Look at the roots on the graffiti log. It's one of those triceratops. Yep. They've had to improve this over the last couple of years. This little walkway right here must have been getting pretty well washed out. And they were WMU, this is all their property, must have been getting fed up with repairing this, so made a couple little flowways through there, almost like a French drain. I made one of those from the side roof drain, downspout, and then the outspout side of my house. I cut one of those across my driveway into a beautiful big side yard, where before it was just pooling up right there. And I filled it full of white stone and let her rock, no pun intended. To this day, it rains and it all goes down into the yard and makes it real nice. No more pooling up. Down here at Asylum Lake, you can see one of the old gates, one of the old fences. A little bit right there. Up here, quite a bit. Go back uphill. Of course, the asylum itself set up high behind us. All gone. Be right back. We need rain. Lake's down a bit. It's on the horizon. Canada geese right here. They could be nesting. We'll move on quietly. There's a pair of swans. The lake should be all the way up to about 5 feet within this trail. The swans have their cygnets. Sorry there, Papa. They're following Mama. Right down here is a muskrat. He doesn't have a flat tail. At least it didn't look, no, it's a muskrat. Got a rat-like tail. Swans, cygnets in the background. There he goes. And there they go. This little muskrat down here. Sitting right there. See, there he goes. They're doing his thing. It's a red-winged blackbird. You hear his call. There goes the muskrat. Now they couldn't do that on lakes like Bankston or Brevoort Lake up north. Those are musky brood lakes. And those little cygnets, they be chow time for those muskie. Yep. Alright. Got a big beaver lodge right here. Several old trees have been felled by the beaver. Heck, beaver. Still have the last of this. Goes a blue heron. It's right up here on this point. Also known as the shy poke. Hunting along the edge there. See how he acts real shy. Hunting along, and then he'll see prey and he'll spear it. Boom! Poke it. Down the hatch it goes. Just like a pelican. This is a water testing station. Has a little graffiti on it. Shy poke's over there wondering what the heck. See, the trees have to be wrapped with chicken wire or even chain link fence to stop the damage. See how many of the trees right here along the bank of Asylum Lake have been wrapped with wire. Others have been turned into pungies. Man, like I said before, that's some dangerous stuff there. Look how recently the beaver come up and started gnawing at the base of that unprotected part of the tree. Large tree out here normally would be 1.5 feet, almost 2 foot more water. It's just gnawed and it's dead. They're gonna let that one go, you can tell. This one's an old mummy dust tree here. A couple more just like it. It's like this tree right here. You can see with a low water level how a foundation here has been that was submerged is now there. Pretty cool. See the old deadfall and stormfall across right here. It logged it out. The tops going into the lake. Look how far out in the lake the tops are. I'm telling you. I think this is the one that I counted, and it was 67. I think this is the one. Now that was 67 rings that I counted, making it somewhere around 67 years old, thereabouts. Oh, look what I found on our way back. I knew I'd seen a couple official vehicles back there. There was two Kalamazoo police cars that were sitting up where I'm parked as well. And there are some pylons, not Cylons. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to burn. No, not that kind of a Cylon. Pylons. And so this must have been what they were doing, burning this section. Lauren Green was a wimp as a space god. That's my best Cylon. Sorry, Lauren Green. You're great as Cartwright, though. Well, they certainly burned this off and did cut down some of the old dead trees up on top and down along there. Sheesh, there's still something smoldering up here. Wow, this is one of the big old logs. Still burning. I'm down in here. Still smoldering. You can feel the heat. You can what? You can feel the... Oh, never mind. Ready or not? Oh, never mind. Knock it off. You're in the woods. Somebody's really got on that. All right. See how far along here they've burned this off, and it needed it. It needed it. Yep, sure looks like they burned off the whole ridge line right here, leaving everything on this side of the trail downslope into the banks and wetland area around Little Asylum unscathed. So far, see how they control the burn around the bases of the big living trees, or the smaller living trees. Even the big, more dead, but still mostly living trees. Squirrels are checking it all out. This tree right here started to burn, but it's dead. A little telephone pole. Those big fox squirrels, their nests are high in the trees. They were not affected by this. This helps them. Exposes those nuts. Tree snake, watch out. Holy. Oh, okay then. Okay, that's the end of the controlled burn zone. Look down here. It looks like tire tracks right there going through the wetland. And right down here, use the old finger pointer. And it looks like a big old Jeep or something tore through there. I'm not quite certain that something like that didn't happen. I do see an entranceway. I came in down there, so probably the Army Corps of Engineers or Western down there checking things out. But they took advantage of the low water. Yep. That also might be a pathway that's been there for decades, that was abandoned and left there. It's been covered by water, and now it's just being exposed. Could be. Okay, look at this. It goes right there to the right and stops dead. Comes back through here, goes just underneath that old dead tree, and that tree has been down a long time. Okay? And it just goes beyond that and then kind of stops into the bank. I think that's old ruts. Something down in here years ago. Not saying the 20s or 30s, but I bet you the 50s, 60s, maybe the 70s. And But it happened before that tree fell. Right down here, I'll zoom up on it. Hey, see how it goes under that? Very interesting. Yep, just like that cement pad we seen earlier. I've been out here for years walking, never seen that. It's because of the low water. Just like here. The water's generally up into here easy. All right. One day with the right wind, this big old tree right here. I can see that breaking right in half. That tree right there is at least, oh man, 10-12 feet in diameter. Took a tape measure and went around it. All right, this is me standing right here at its base, kind of walking around it. You see my hand right here. Whoa, baby, right? Look at this. Walk back this way a little ways. Eh? That's no small tree. Wow. Yeah, Sonny, back in my day, they were 4 times bigger than that and even bigger than that. But great-granddad, you lived up in like Humboldt County or something? Up where the sequoias are at? Yeah, that's a tree story nonetheless. Yep, looks like they did just a little bit more right here. And I think they're still up here. I think they're still right up here. This tree right here in the center that's burned up around the base of the trunk, it's dead. It's dead. That's why I did that. And another little spot. Okay, folks, as I exit the woods, there goes some WMU ground staff. Their rod and their staff might comfort them. I'm going to be comforted as I get up here to my vehicle and have some of this really cool homemade lemonade. Thanks again for coming along on this adventure. Seen some things I didn't think we were going to see. Some wildlife. All that cool stuff. Thanks again. All you that are brand new to my channel, welcome aboard. Come on in. Take your shoes off. Stay a while. The rest of y'all, you know, you can always come on back. I'll find some new locality. Thanks again for watching. Be careful out there. There, now I can cross the street. Let's go!